On your screen now, 3 new versions of the L.U.C watches of Chopard, and everything what is special you will learn and see in this video. Welcome or welcome back to WatchAdvisor on YouTube, where the watches are the stars. Today with me is Johann Chance.
Hello,
welcome.
Johann.
I have to say we are at Chopard, of course, and what we are going to do is to present you guys the novelties of L.U.C. And this is also the reason why we are standing in the atelier, in the workshops where they do those watches. And Johann and me will show you the watches, all details. And as WatchAdvisor is the place, hashtag where the watches are the stars, we both will disappear from your screens. You will hear our voices, but the watches will be the stars. Enjoy the video. Let me start here with the watch with the fantastic blue celestial sky. It's called L.U.C Héritage École d'Horlogerie Genève Moon 122. And this is a watch they have been doing because they are working closely together with the Geneva Watchmaking School, 21 years, as Johann told me. In the middle, you do see the full strike, L.U.C full strike, the first time done in a yellow gold case. And here you do have the L.U.C Quattro, a watch with 4 barrels and 9 days of power reserve. Johann and me decided to start with the full strike in gold. The watch has been done. Amazing sound of this watch.
Chopard remains the only one to make this very specific technology, which means that the gongs and the upper glass are one block of sapphire. So it's a one piece of sapphire where the hammers are chiming. We kept the caliber, so the 08.01 caliber with the 60 hours power reserve for the movement and the possibility to repeat 12 times at 12:59, which is the longest way for the striking mechanism, before winding again the striking mechanism.
Talking about winding, you do see here there are 2 little hands. The one hand indicates the power reserve, and depending on which direction you're turning, clockwise or counterclockwise, you can wind the barrel for the minute repeater. Now I'm winding the minute repeater, and here I'm winding the watch. You see, it takes a little bit longer with the watch, of course. But you see that the little hand is slowly moving upwards. These are the hammers. There is one hammering the minutes, then you will listen to both hammers telling you the quarter of the hours, and then of course one hammer will indicate the remaining minutes. And there is one particularity I have to point out. This is the regulating organ of the minute repeater, and it's a patented regulating organ. And for those of you who are aware and familiar with minute repeaters, there's one noise missing when you engage the minute repeater. It is the noise of the regulating organ, because Chopard has patented and developed a regulating organ that is absolutely silent.
Yes, correct. So every time, and I propose you maybe to set the watch at 2 minutes past 1.
Okay.
In order to really, I cannot say here, but just see that there's no sound with the regulating wheel.
Normally, in a normal minute repeater, you would hear zzz, zzz, something like this. Not as loud, of course, and not as nasty as I was imitating it, but you would hear the sound. But here there's absolute silence. Did you hear anything? No, there was nothing to hear. And this is really spectacular, something I very, very much like with this construction they did. You have a patent on it, I think.
Yes, absolutely. So we have different patents, and one of these is the silent of the regulating wheel. And also we don't have the ghost quarters, which means between the hour and the first quarter, normally you have to wait some seconds between the beating of the hours and the one of the minutes. So we call that the ghost quarters. And here, if you press, you directly have, right after the hours, you will have the minutes. So we have a German silver-made movement.
So the main plate and the plates are made out of German silver.
Absolutely. And you can see that we have 2 separate barrels, one for the movement and this one for the striking mechanism.
It's a 4 Hertz movement.
Absolutely, yes.
4 Hertz movement. Sapphire crystal, not only in the gongs, but you do have lots of other applications with sapphire crystals.
Of course, we've decided to keep the transparency, so that's why we decided to make a transparent, so a sapphire dial.
Everything is transparent. You can really see everything what happens in a minute repeater. You can follow it. I always call this big cinema on the wrist because it is spectacular. What is mostly unimportant with such a watch are the dimensions, but still I want to give you them.
So 42.5 mm for the diameter, and the thickness is 11.5 millimeters, which remains very nice on the wrist. And finally, lugs to lugs is 50 millimeters.
And the dial aperture is almost the case diameter because the bezel is ultra thin. So you have maximum possible dial aperture. And the cinema on the wrist may be yours if you spend how much for it, Johan?
So 310,000 Swiss francs.
So 310,000 Swiss francs for, I would say, one of the most spectacular minute repeaters that are on the market. The sound is amazing. The fact that you have no disturbing noise coming from the regulating organ is spectacular. Everything visible, nicely done. German silver main plate, the same as Lange does it. German silver is very difficult to work with. The watchmakers need to wear little condoms on their fingers to protect the material because once you touch it, if it gets greasy, you do see every single fingerprint on it. Challenging to work with it. How long does it take to make such a watch in total?
For the watchmaker, it's 1 month assembling one watch.
One watch, 1 month. So I assume there will be an output of maybe 10, 15 watches per year.
So we have 2 watchmakers that are working on the minute repeater, but we are around 20 watches a year, which is the limited edition of 20 watches for this one.
Very exclusive timepiece.
Let me interrupt this video for a short moment, please. We need you to join our community on our website, www.watchadvisor.com. You can now discover more content. We are going to create forums. We have discussions. You can share stuff. You can come in discussion with me. We're going to present you more insights, more in-depth videos, more in-depth information, and so on and so on and so on and so on. It's all about watches. WatchAdvisor is the name. I am the watch advisor. You know that. This was the reason I'm interrupting this video, and now enjoy the rest of it.
So now let me come to the watch they have been doing with the École d'Horlogerie de Genève. This is the Geneva watchmaking school, the school where all the very best watchmakers get trained. It's hard to get there, to be there, and once you are there, I can guarantee that these watchmakers will get a nice employment with the top companies in Swiss watchmaking. Johan, what do we see here on this beautiful timepiece you've done with them?
We've decided to celebrate our 20th anniversary partnership with the École d'Horlogerie de Genève. So amazing dial in aventurine representing the Northern Hemisphere celestial, as well as the globe where you have the small second. The globe is fully hand engraved, as well as the moon phase disc, completely hand engraved in our workshop. And the dial is also made in the Chopard group.
Absolutely stunning. You can really discover what you want to discover on the Northern Hemisphere. You just have to know a little bit what is in the sky when you look in the sky at night, and then you will discover all the constellations and different stars on the aventurine dial. The movement is also something particular I want to point out.
So very particular because it's the 63 caliber, bearing also the Geneva hallmark. What is also specific regarding the École d'Horlogerie de Genève is that we are supplying kits for all the apprentices that are working at the Geneva watchmaking school.
It's a 3 Hertz movement. You see the large balance wheel oscillating at 3 Hertz or 21,600 semi-oscillations, and I very much do like these old type of movements with a huge balance wheel. In total, it's not a very complicated caliber to do or to make, but it is challenging for them because they have to really show what they're able to do, and this is one of their works. You do see that the L.U.C Chopard logo has been printed on the sapphire crystal from the backside.
Correct, yes.
And it does disappear depending on the light. The diameter of the watch?
So it's 44 mm.
44 millimeters.
The thickness is slightly under 13 millimeters.
That's due to the caliber that's
Yes, and also the mounting plate for the moon phase. Lug to lug is slightly under 52 mm.
I suppose this is a limited edition?
Yes, it's a limited edition, 20 pieces.
In terms of prices?
We will be around 90,000 Swiss francs.
Yeah. Full gold case, aventurine. Nicely done, I have to say. And I recommend you very much, if you ever get the chance to have this watch in your hand, start playing with it in light and you will see how beautiful this aventurine dial reflects every kind of light that falls on it. Now let's go to Le Quattro. Quattro. It's not an Audi, but it is the Le Quattro. We are of course talking about 4 barrels, a spectacular power reserve of 9 days or how many hours?
216.
216 hours of power reserve. Here on the backside, the barrels, there are 2 barrels here and 2 barrels here. There's a differential mechanism delivering the energy to the balance wheel. The frequency here is
28,800, so 4 hertz.
4 hertz, beautifully decorated. But there is a few things I think, Johan, you should tell us, because this is not only a Le Quattro.
It's also the new, I would like to say, L.U.C DNA, which means that we completely redesign and reshape the case. You can see also that we reduced the size regarding the diameter, but we kept our regular DNA, which means that we have polished case back and bezel and beautiful vertical satin finishing on the side of the case.
On both sides.
And you can see also that we have a basin-shaped case. We also did basin-shaped crown in order to keep this harmony.
So the shape of the crown very much looks like the shape of the case. I think this is obvious.
The diameter is 39
millimeters.
for 10 millimeters thickness, and finally 46 millimeters lug to lug.
So lug to lug is always from one lug end to the other lug end measured. This gives you the possibility to figure out how the watch in theory would fit on your wrist. The dial aperture, do you have this figure by coincidence?
Yes, of course, the diameter is 32 millimeters.
Concerning the dial, this is also beautifully made. We do have a date indication and the running seconds at 6 o'clock. The dial is in a grain pattern.
Absolutely grain pattern, yeah. And you can see also, if you go closer, you can see that the L.U. Chopard is like going out from the dial. So it's a 3-dimension logo, which makes the dial very special also. We also decided to remove the power reserve from the front of the watch and to put it at 12 o'clock on the movement.
Nice, nice. Is this a limited watch?
No, it's not limited edition, so it's a very exclusive production. And we will also make the platinum version, which will be reserved for our boutique worldwide.
So the same watch will also be presented in platinum?
Platinum, absolutely.
With the same blue dial?
No, it will be a brighter color, so a blue as well, but brighter color.
What is the price for the Le Quattro?
So the price is 36,500 Swiss francs for this beautiful watch.
Much less than an Audi Quattro. Johan, this was a pleasure as always for helping me. Yeah, thank you very much. Just in case, guys, you are watching this video as the first one, do also check out our other video where we do present you the Alpine Eagle watches 2025. In this case, which one is your favorite, Johan?
I go directly to the Quattro.
Directly to the Quattro. This is good that I can take the minute repeater. This is, by the way, the gift when you come to Chopard, you go home with a minute repeater. No, I'm joking, of course. But I would really love the minute repeater because, yeah, what you heard in the video about sound, just stunning. Thank you very much, Johan, once again for helping me.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for watching. Please use the comment section. Tell us about the sound experience. Tell us about the silence. Tell us about the Quattro. And also what you think about their engagement with the École d'Horologerie de Genève, the Geneva Watchmaking School, where the experts, the future experts, are trained. Those watchmakers who will then build the watches when we are no longer there. Oh my goodness. I'm getting old. This is where I'm joking around. Thanks a lot for watching the video on WatchAdvisor on YouTube. And if you think that this is your channel, please check out our website, WatchAdvisor.com, and especially our community section on our website to really get in touch with us, to share lots of things. You will get more detailed information about the watch industry, in-depth videos. More fun will happen there. So if you're interested, have a look at WatchAdvisor.com.